Hi my favorites, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is Favor Fashion House. So in today's video, we're going to be learning how to make this beautiful play suit. It's a very simple tutorial, okay? Please stay tuned, watch the end of this video, and also please subscribe, like and share my YouTube video. So first off, we're going to be needing our pattern paper. We're going to be drafting on the pattern. Okay, I went in by 3 inches all the way down and I ruled them out. After marking them out, the next I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be coming down by half 1 inch, okay, which is going to be my starting point. Then I went in by 4 inches by 5 inches. My neck width is 4 inches while my neck depth is 5 inches. My shoulder is 14 divided by 2, which is going to be 7 inches here, but I minus 1, so what I put for my shoulder is 6 inches. All right, so from my shoulder I came down by 1 inch, which is going to be my shoulder slope. I connect it with the 4 inches neck depth, neck width. So I'm connecting the whole lines together. I'm connecting the neckline together. So from my shoulder slope, I'm going to measure my armhole. My armhole measurement is 8 inches, which is also going to be my bust point. Then I find the midpoint of this armhole and I connected my armhole. The next I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be measuring from my shoulder to my waistline, from my shoulder to my hip line also. Then from my shoulder to the length of the play suit. The length I use is 30 inches. Then I added extra 2 inches allowance. But while cutting on the fabric, I added extra 1 inch allowance. So I'm going to be drawing out the lines, my waistline, my hip line, the length of my play suit and my allowance. Now I'm going to be dividing my bust measurement divided by 4. Then I mark it and also added extra 3 inches allowance. I did the same thing on my waist. My waist measurement divided by 4 with extra 3 inches allowance. My hip measurement divided by 4 plus extra 3 inches allowance. So whatever I have on my hip, I'm going to input it down on my length. So if you want this to be very free, right here you're going to connect it like you're going to do as if it's a flay. If you want it to be very free, okay, you can do it that place as a flay. The hemming side you can do it as a flay. Now from my hip measurements, I came down by 3 inches. So but while cutting your own, please come down by at least 4 inches so it will be very free. And I came out by 2 inches. For a plus size, you should come out at least 3 inches or 3.5. Then I also came down by 2 inches from the hem side so I can connect it together. But please, while cutting your own, come down by 3 inches instead and 4 inches instead so that it will be very free. Mine was not as free as I wanted it to be. So and I noticed that the mistake was from there, because this is, we are going to be tying it on the shoulder. So while tying it, the thing is going to draw at your crotch side. So that is why that place have to be very, very free. So right here, what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to connect the pocket together so I can cut it together on the fabric. So I don't need to start putting inserting my pocket differently. But I end up cutting it out because it's consuming a lot of fabric and I'm managing my fabric, so I end up cutting it out. But if you have enough fabric, this is how to do it. You draft your pockets on the pattern, okay, then you just place it on the fabric and cut it the same way. So this is how it's looking now. I'm going to be using this front pattern to cut the back piece. So for the back, this is where I cut out the pockets. For the back piece, you're going to give allowance on the front because the back crotch is going to be longer than the front crotch. Okay, so for the back crotch line, what I use 2.5 inches for the back. So, but if you're a plus size person, you can use 3 or 3.5 inches for the back. Connect it all the way down, and I also give it allowance. I added 1 inch allowance because I'm going to be inserting zipper on this, but that zipper is not really necessary. But I decided to add zipper should in case of, yeah. So right, I'm going to be cutting it out after adding my allowance and my crotch line. So I'm going to be cutting everything out now. There's something I did right here. I didn't want to start cutting the strap, the tie on the shoulder. I didn't want to start cutting it differently. So what I did was I extended the length of my shoulder. I extended the length very, very long so that I can just use my lining and my facing and turn everything, so I don't need to start joining anything up there. So this is what I mean. As you can see, I extended it all the way up, so I don't need to start joining anything again, any other stripe for the tie. So this is how it's looking right now. So I'm going to be cutting the front one, the front piece. So as you can see, I added extra allowance on my length, yeah, on the length. And while cutting, please at the front side try to add ½ inch allowance for joining. You know there's going to be joining at the front there, so add ½ inch allowance for the joining. I'm also adding ½ inch allowance on the neckline because I'm going to be using facing for this. I don't want to use bias. I want it to have a very neat finishing. So this is my front and this is my back. I'm putting them together, making sure they're aligned together so that I can mark out the place I want my pocket to start from. After marking it out, I also notched it. So I used about 11 inches length and I also notched it out to indicate where my pocket is going to start from. So on the front, I'm going to be joining by ½ inch down to the crotch line. So after that, I also cut out the facing for the front. So I'm going to be joining the facing, the front side facing each other. Then I'm going to sew it all the way to the shoulder and to the armhole. This is me cutting the back facing. I'm going to do the same thing, join it all the way to the back to the armhole. But first, before I will start, I will join the facing with the back. I'm going to first of all insert my zipper so that I can have a very neat finishing at the zipper side also. My back piece is looking like. I'm going to measure where I want my zipper to get to. I use about 10 to 11 inches length. That is where I want my zipper to get to. So I'm going to be sewing with that 1 inch that we draw out. I'm going to be stitching, joining it all the way to the crotch, that 1 inch, and I'll leave the upper side open. So I'll insert my zipper and also turn it with the facing. So after joining this is me trying to join the facing. I've joined the front side together by 1/2 inch. Now this is my face. I'm going to join the front side facing each other, and I will stitch it all the way to the armhole. So this is how it's looking after joining it, and also the back one. I'm going to be turning them out. So right here I'm cutting out my pockets. Okay, so while cutting yours, you can make your pocket a little bit smaller. I think mine was kind of bigger, yeah, because sometimes it will come out from the length of my dress, of my play suit. So while cutting yours, make it a little bit smaller. I cut two of the other fabric and two of the other fabric. I place it this way and also connect it to 1/2 inch allowance. I also do the same thing at the back side, at the back piece. After joining everything together, this is how it's looking. Our placesuit is coming together. I'm going to place in the front and the back piece together so I can close it on the side. I close it with 1 inch allowance. Because this is not a fitted place, it's a very free place suit here, so you don't need to start using your bust measurement or hip, all those, that no, just use 1 inch and close it. But if you're making your split, you can add, if you want it to be more free, you can add extra allowance. Like I said earlier, if you want the flay side to be very, very free, please do it as if you're doing a line at that damn part. So now I'm going to be cutting the excesses, okay, down here, and I will fold hemming side now. So after that, I'm going to stitch it all the way down. The remaining thing is for us to join it at the crotch line. I'm going to be placing my crotch, my center crotch of the front and the back together. Then I will stitch it all the way to the other leg. So after everything, this is how our playsuit is looking. Our playsuit is ready, and this is how my own came out. So please try out this tutorial, and also, you know, the things I say you should do while cutting your crotch line should come down by 4 inch instead of 3 inches. And also for the hemming side, you should, for the length of the distance, you should also make it as if a line flay, so it will be very, very free at the down part. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, and also comment on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys. God bless you all. Bye.